And welcome, friends. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has sent another instruction out from ED custody, asking his ministers to take care of health services for the citizens of Delhi. Minister Saurabh Bharadwaj informed media earlier in the day that the Chief Minister was concerned that medical services like mohalla clinics and provision of medicines for the poor were getting affected. Unlikely as it is, and we say this because there has been an official denial from Secretary Planning of Delhi. But if we agree with this disruption narrative of our minister, then whose fault is it? And what is the suggestion here? That nothing runs an Aam Aadmi Party government if Mr. Kejriwal is not supervising directly? That even day-to-day functions get affected or come to a grinding halt? If a chief minister has to handle anything between 20 to 40 issues in a given day, supervising 24 odd departments, for how long can Mr. Kejriwal run the show from ED custody, one department at a time, one general instruction a day? We're going to ask how would people of Delhi fare in this situation. Let's get you the headlines first. ED sources say Kejriwal under surveillance, internal probe into any leak from ED headquarters underway. Complete uproar after Congress's insult on Kangana. BJP to hit the streets of Mandi on Wednesday. Congress on the back foot after backlash over sexist slur, says Kangana is Himachal's daughter. PM inquires about poll preparedness from Bashirhat candidate Rekha Patra. Says all of India is proud of her courage. She is one of the complainants and victim in the Sandesh Kali case. Yet another terror attack in Pakistan. 5 Chinese nationals among 6 killed in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. No immediate extradition to United States for WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks' Julian Assange rules UK court. All right. Good evening, friends. 5 days after Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was arrested by the ED in connection with Delhi Liquor Gate, today Aam Aadmi Party claimed that Kejriwal issued another fresh order from ED custody to ensure smooth governance in Delhi. The way politics are panning out, the question is, how practical is it to run a government from ED custody? Here's a report, and then I come back to debate.
Today in Delhi, we have a chief minister who has now become the kingpin of the Sharab Ghotala in Delhi, who is trying to run his government inside of jail on the basis of forged documents. Look, the entire matter is only this, that they do not want to answer the questions on Sharab Ghotala, and hence new drama is being scripted every day.
वो केवल और केवल फ्रॉड है, नौटंकी है। कोई सरकार के पास अधिकार नहीं है ऐसे। मुख्यमंत्री एडी की कस्टडी में है, बिना कोर्ट के ऑर्डर के कोई ऐसा किया नहीं जा सकता। लेकिन 2 लोगों का ध्यान भटकाने के लिए, लोगों की संवेदना लेने के लिए, उनकी सिंपैथी लेने के लिए ये सब किया जा रहा है।
हमारे अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ऐसे मुख्यमंत्री हैं, ऐसी मिट्टी के बने हैं कि वहाँ ईडी की हिरासत में भी उनको ये लगा हुआ है कि कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि मैं हिरासत में चला जाऊं और पीछे से दिल्ली के लोगों की परेशानियां बढ़ जाएं।
वो इलेक्टेड चीफ मिनिस्टर है एक पार्टी का, उसको कस्टडी में दिया गया है, रखा गया है। वो हल तलब है इशू, वो सज़ा नहीं है। जब प्राइमा फेसी केस साबित होगा तो फिर उसको कोई हक नहीं है, तब तक उसको हक है अपनी पार्टी कहाँ से चलाएगा, कैसे चलाएगा।
All right, joining me 2 sides of the conversation, BJP's spokesperson Charu Pragya and Ravi Srivastava leans towards the Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party does not send its spokespersons on some shows here. So I would begin with you, Ravi Srivastava, before I go to Charu Pragya for BJP's position. Ravi Srivastav, one day at a time, one instruction at a time. Give a fair assessment. You think a government can run like this? A chief minister who's on a typical day giving 20, 30, 40 instructions, gives one instruction, a general instruction, please take care of health services, please take care of water services, and you think the government is going to run like that for how many days, Ravi Srivastav?
Good evening, Abhishek. I don't know. There is nothing wrong in it. I don't find anything irregular in this. He is well within his right. So he is not convicted. He is in the custody on remand. He questioned for. He is only showing that he has control of Delhi, whom he has been serving for last 9 years. The issue is here, the fact that Mr. Sharat Chand Reddy, on whose statement he has been charged with 100 crore irregularity and all that, and on the doorsteps of the, because they are BJP. I have not seen one BJP spokesperson replying to the charge.
ऑडियो ठीक करा दो.
Why did they buy
रवि श्रीवास्तव का ऑडियो ठीक.
59 crore bonds from Sharat Chand Reddy, who was the MD of Aurobindo Pharma, who was arrested in this liquor scam, and he was given
I
a
will help
bail
you.
of back pain. When people are serving the jail term,
Okay, Ravi Srivastav.
spinal injury and all that.
Ravi Srivastav,
even
your audio is
Arvind
not clear,
Kejriwal-
so I'm told Nikhil Jain also has joined us. I would want to go to Nikhil Jain before I get Charu to respond. Please fix your audio. Please fix your audio, Ravi Srivastav. While you're speaking, it's not clear what you're saying because there is some glitch in the audio. Just reconnect once, please, and I'll come back to you. Okay, Charu. Okay, let me go to Charu then. Charu, Ravi Srivastav, or whatever I could hear, said there is nothing irregular in what Arvind Kejriwal is doing. He's well within his right. And then came the pin of Sharat Reddy. So, I mean, the fact that people of Delhi could be affected because Arvind Kejriwal is not irregular or well within his right is something which is perhaps being missed by the Aam Aadmi Party supporters here, Charu. Charu, you have to switch on your audio.
How can you hear me? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
please go ahead.
Shravan, sorry about that. Yes, I heard that remark where Mr. Srivastav thinks there's nothing irregular about the sitting chief minister of any state to be behind bars and for him to pretend there's nothing wrong with it. Arvind Kejriwal ji has actually scripted history. He's the first CM in the history of this country to be a CM while he's still behind bars. Even Lalu Prasad Yadav or Hemant Soren didn't do this. So he's worse than all the others put together. Let me also remind him that Aam Aadmi Party, last I checked, was a political party, not a theatre company with a dedicated script writer who's writing a script for the press conferences every single day. And press conferences, those which anybody would hear, will only laugh and laugh, because if Saurabh Bharadwaj wants to talk about the healthcare system of Delhi and specially mention the testing system, let me remind him there is an ongoing CBI inquiry into the scam where all these testing facilities were outsourced to a third party and money party. So maybe he should bother to explain that before he uses something for his political gain. Lastly, most importantly, a government cannot run from behind bars. Officers need to meet the CM. Officers need to visit, discuss, have meetings, get papers signed. How are you going to manage that with somebody who's behind bars and can only get visitors once a week? Or have you decided to completely make a mockery of the people of the city and take them so much for granted that, anybody else in your place would be afraid to behave like this? I think, it would be better if you just named a successor. At least the city would be able to function. Your party has become the epitome of
Okay.
scam every step of the way. So whether it is a Raghav Chadda who pretends to be away from India in London for an eye surgery, and on the other side, we have an Arvind Kejriwal talking about some fantastic make-believe healthcare infrastructure. Why couldn't your own Raghav get his operation done here? Please tell me.
Okay, in fact, because today's instruction from the Chief Minister of Delhi is about health services,
Exactly.
Nikhil
He talks
Jain,
about testing
that's a
services,
pertinent
Shravan.
question that Charu Pragya is
I have
asking.
tweeted about that. With proof.
Abhishek, you find all her questions very
Yeah,
pertinent,
so Charu,
but she did not utter a single word about 59 crore electoral bonds taken from Aurobindo Pharma or the Sharad Chandra Reddy. Why that question is being
Ravi ji,
omitted
if you
by
want
each
to
and every
discuss
BJP
electoral bonds, I am completely qualified to do so.
spokesperson
Shravan, you want to change the
reminding
topic of the
everybody.
debate
we are
and
not
you can
discussing
discuss how
electoral
much
bonds today, so
1,000
let's not
crores
derail the
was
debate.
taken by the opposition parties? Do you want to get into the details of that?
I
How
want to get
betting
into
companies
details
have
of
been
No, no,
everything.
no,
on
Charu, no,
opposition parties
Ravi
and giving
Srivastav,
them
no, we
money?
are not discussing electoral bonds today. That's
No,
not
but
the
if-
story.
if
No,
you cannot control
Charu,
the
no.
subject of the debate,
Ravi
we'll
Srivastav,
switch.
no, because we are not
Otherwise, why
discussing
shouldn't we
electoral
talk
bonds
about
today.
the healthcare
We have
system in
done
Delhi?
that for almost 10 days. Okay,
There
Charu,
is a whole
no.
chart against
Okay, Nikhil
Kejriwal in
Jain,
that
you know,
electoral
it's a
bond
pertinent
which has
question.
taken. That's a money
Abhishek,
train
is it
which
for me?
ends at the BJP doorstep.
Ravi Srivastav, don't derail this debate. We are not discussing electoral bonds. And my question is to Nikhil Jain. Nikhil Jain, pertinent question is, if the health services are so good in Delhi, and if the Delhi Chief Minister, he does not tire of talking about health services and has given an instruction today, why not someone as senior as Raghav Chadha, not his age, but his seniority in the Aam Aadmi Party, avail of services in Delhi? It's been 10 years that Aam Aadmi Party has been in government in Delhi, right? The things
Abhishek,
for which he has
I
gone
think that is just political
perhaps
rhetoric
could
for
be
Charu to
treated
make that if the
somewhere in
health
India,
services
if
are
not
so
Delhi,
good, why do you
right?
need to go abroad for a surgery? Time and again, leaders from across the parties, whether it's the Aam Aadmi Party or the BJP or the Congress, have sought treatment, high-level treatments abroad in the US or in the UK, despite running governments in the country and claiming that
How does he
they have very
afford
good health
it? Let's come
infrastructure.
down to that. How does he even afford it?
That is not for me to say. I'm not a
No,
chartered
no, no,
accountant.
Charu, no, Charu, no, that's not the issue. He can afford it. He can very well afford it. Charu, that's not the issue.
Abhishek, my apologies.
Please do. And
Charu, that's not the issue.
I apologize.
If you have to ask me, how does Raghav Chadha afford the
No,
NI
that's
surgery
okay.
in
That's okay,
London
Charu, that's okay.
when he's married to a Bollywood actress? If you're
No, Nikhil, I have
forgetting, by the
corrected
way.
that. Nikhil, no
yeah.
crosstalk. I have corrected that. You answer the question.
all right.
You answer the
Let's
question.
stick
If
to
it's
the
about
topic.
health services, if it's about affordability is not the issue. Affordability is not the issue. He can afford it, he can go. But the point is, he is a political person, he is a leader. And if Arvind Kejriwal never tires of talking about the health services or the improvement in health services, then obviously, something has to come from Aam Aadmi Party on Raghav Chadha's
And
status
while
also.
he's abroad, he's meeting with terror
Abhishek,
sympathizers. Maybe you should address that also.
Abhishek, I think that is just political rhetoric to say that every politician should seek treatment in the government hospital of the government that they're running. I think that is simply political rhetoric. As I've
Okay,
already
forget about
mentioned that,
political rhetoric.
political
Tell me
leaders
give me a specific answer. I have a very important, even more pertinent question to ask, and you answer that before I go to Ravi Srivastav. You see, if you look at the BJP, for all the political attack that you do on BJP, of BJP being dictatorial, of only Narendra Modi calling the shots, Amit Shah calling the shots, there is a structure, right? When the candidates are being announced, when the BJP is releasing lists, you get those visuals of the Central Election Committee, 20, 25 people sitting, deliberating, meetings going on for 3 hours, 4 hours, and next day some general secretary comes, reads the list. What's the structure in Aam Aadmi Party? Who takes the calls? Who decides? If the chief minister, for example, because of the legal process, if nothing else, has to remain in either ED custody or judicial custody for the next 2 months, 3 months, we have deputy chief minister for 13 months, we have another minister for more than 2 years, then who runs the show? Is there any structure in Aam
Abhishek, that
Aadmi
is the
Party?
point.
As someone who leads towards the Congress party, you should be concerned, Nikhil Jain.
Abhishek, that is the point. That Charu had earlier made a point on your show that Arvind Kejriwal has scripted history by being the first chief minister to run his government from jail. He's also made history by the fact that he's the only second sitting chief minister to be arrested without a conviction from a court of law. And that too, in Kejriwal's case, he's been
That's so
arrested
true.
2 months before the elections. Hemant Soren was the first sitting chief minister to be arrested. No.
Don't
sitting
try
chief
and spin a
minister
narrative
arrested.
here which is fake.
No.
He resigned. He resigned. He went to the governor's office. He went to the governor's. He went to Raj Bhavan. He resigned. Then he was officially arrested. Nikhil Jain. Get the facts right.
The court, in fact,
that is what I'm
made
saying.
an interjection
That is what I'm saying,
why
that the
hasn't
BJP
he been arrested already? Did you miss that, Nikhil?
No,
You're
but
an advocate. You're supposed to listen to what the Honorable Chief
has a
Justice
charge sheet
says.
even been filed? Charu, has even a charge sheet been filed in Arvind Kejriwal's case? You can cite
Tell me,
Mr. Lalu
did he
Prasad
bother to even turn up for
You can cite
questioning?
a
Arrest is
few
not
of the
incumbent
examples.
upon charge sheet. Nikhil Jain, you are a lawyer, you know better.
In all the other cases, there was either a charge sheet or a conviction
or are
from
you
a court
above
of
the law
law.
today?
Arvind Kejriwal is the first chief minister to go to
No,
jail
no, no,
without
no.
even a charge sheet being filed in his name.
In the IO's
That is what the
office,
BJP is
with
doing
the video
right now,
camera
and
on.
it has
Did
now
your
become a
chief
matter of
minister allow
principle. I
that
can
to
understand
happen?
that
And
this
if
is
he
not the
doesn't, why
best
shouldn't he
measure
be
to govern the
arrested?
city of
Please tell
Delhi
me.
or the state of
Or
Delhi.
is the
The
entire
problem
law of the
is
land
that the
supposed to
BJP
change for
is
Arvind
trying to put
Kejriwal?
people
Okay,
in
one by
jail
one.
without any
Nikhil.
court of law.
Charu and Nikhil, both please pull back.
Evidence without a charge sheet.
Structure.
Now it then becomes
Charu,
a matter of
I'll give you the opportunity,
Abhishek,
Charu.
it
Nikhil,
becomes
please
a
hold
matter
on.
of principle.
Nikhil. It becomes a matter of principle that Arvind Kejriwal does not resign like Hemant Soren did. Remember, Hemant Soren is not a BJP leader. He is someone from the opposition. He had the decency, courtesy, dignity, understanding of law that if he is being arrested, he should be first going to the Raj Bhavan and putting in his papers, putting somebody else in the chair and then get arrested. You know, he said, please give me time, go to the Raj Bhavan, get my successor going and then I'll resign. The problem is perhaps, Ravi Srivastav, that Aam Aadmi Party structure is such, or the absence of structure is such, that Arvind Kejriwal does not trust anyone to be occupying that chair. And that is the reason why this is happening. And that's not good for the people of Delhi, Ravi Srivastav.
I don't know what kind of a study you have done of Arvind Kejriwal. He has very successful chief minister for the last 3 terms, and he is charging his duties and responsibility very effectively, although and that is the reason that the people of Delhi have elected him and also elected him, and CD also gave him the votes in Punjab and the government of Aam Aadmi Party. You don't have to question that what kind of structure he has got. Every party has got its own way of functioning. Aam Aadmi Party has got their own way of functioning. So why should you be worried that BJP got ED and CBI and income tax at their disposal? They are misusing.
I'm not worried about the BJP, Ravi Srivastav. I don't care whether BJP is worried or not. It's about whether the people of Delhi could suffer. You know, I'm being very practical. You see, I'm not saying that the Aam Aadmi Party government has lost locus. It's just that a legal process is going on. And for that period, do you have an alternative arrangement or not? First ask the question, does the Aam Aadmi Party has any alternative structure, arrangement, person whom the chief minister trusts and can asked to sit in? जैसे भरत को बोला था राजा राम ने कि खड़ाऊ लेके, भरत ने बोला था राजा राम को कि मैं खड़ाऊ लेके बैठा हूं, ऐसे कोई खड़ाऊ लेके बैठने वाला तो होगा?
I think the media should not be worried about that.
Oh, media is worried about the administration of the city we live in.
People of Delhi are worried, Ravi Srivastav.
We are very worried. We are citizens.
He is standing behind his son and the brother Arvind Kejriwal. They are behind him. They are behind him in full force. You can see it on Delhi roads every day. You can see it on 31st again.
Okay, Charu.
Stand here.
Okay.
Okay, Abhishek, Mr. Srivastav's
now
voice
that's a
is
joint
coming very
indie-
cracked
that's a
to
joint
me, and I can
indie-
hear only half of it.
Yeah, I know. There is some problem. There's some problem. Sorry, but let me just structure a question and ask you, Charu.
Yeah.
Anybody. For me, you are a co-panelist.
No, there is some audio issue there, Ravi. Please fix it. But Charu,
Sir,
my
I
question to you
can't
is...
hear what you're saying. How do I respond to it if I can't hear you?
Okay, Charu, so let me ask you a question. It's okay, let me ask you a question.
We are only 3 people sitting.
Okay. No personal comments. Let me ask you a question. Charu, my question is, if the people of Delhi are concerned and you being, or your party being in power at the center, why can't the LG act? Why can't there be a report from the office of the Lieutenant Governor to the MHA or to the center? Is the BJP also just sort of waiting and watching, or you believe that there is some process that has to be followed? Because if people are to suffer, then obviously BJP has a stakes in it. BJP also has to be a little more responsible going beyond politics.
Abhishek, you would be right. Except in this case, we are a responsible political party which does not want to interfere with the running of the government in any other state. For the record, let me tell you that the UPA central government has dismissed 84 state governments and the NDA, 0. Absolutely zero. So let's keep that in mind going forward. Now, Nikhil is an advocate, but as an advocate, I think he forgot some key points. The first one is that under PMLA, it is mandatory for the questioning to happen at the IO's office under videography. And Arvind Kejriwal did not comply with that. Not for one summon, not for two, not for three. He didn't choose to comply with it for 8 long summons. So today, talking about elections is actually futile because you could have gone and had this over and done with in October itself or November at most, but you choose not to do it, and your excuses were as feeble as मुझे विपासना के लिए जाना है. So please don't make a mockery of law, administration, and politics here. The second thing is, it was the judge who asked the ED, why have you not arrested Arvind Kejriwal in spite of him skipping 8 summons? That's exactly what the High Court said when they refused to give bail to Arvind Kejriwal. And it was only after that that ED arrested him, as they should have done, in my opinion, a little earlier. But the same amount of time was given to Hemant Soren as well. Today, I think any responsible citizen of the country, forget a chief minister, forget someone who's been a bureaucrat in the past, even a simple citizen of the country would understand that resigning from this post is mandatory for the welfare of the people of the city. And these vague remarks which come from behind jail, and then you have your spokesperson creating more and more drama कि Arvind Kejriwal एक सोच है, मतलब आप क्या कर रहे हो? Why are you making a mockery of this? Why not address the issues? Why not answer the hard questions we are asking you? And why not stick to that? Because what
I have no
Atishi is
problem.
doing with press
Charu.
conferences today is laughable. Rather, maybe you could answer some hard questions about the Delhi liquor scam that you've been indulging in. And you know why I mentioned? Because एक ही थैली के चट्टे बट्टे, every single one has made money from the Delhi liquor scam, and that money has been distributed. In fact, the Supreme Court had made an observation to say that more than 335 crores have made its way into the coffers of Aam Aadmi Party, and maybe the entire political party should be made into a party in this legal case.
Abhishek, can I now come in?
Okay. In fact, that is exactly what has happened, Charu. Nikhil, you know, because of the absence of structures, perhaps, even the agencies were facing difficulty. And that is why they sort of had a legal innovation where the Aam Aadmi Party has been treated as an association of persons or a company, body corporate, and Arvind Kejriwal as one of the directors of the company. And that is one more argument or one more legal way that the agencies are also dealing with this absence of structures within the Aam Aadmi Party. I mean, that's something serious, Nikhil Jain. If Aam Aadmi Party has big ambitions about national politics, they are already ruling in 2 states. They did become almost like the third biggest party, very close to the Congress in Gujarat and Goa. So obviously, if they have national ambitions, it's in the interest of the Aam Aadmi Party, Nikhil Jain, that they have some structure, they have some hierarchy, they have, you know, a pecking order based on which, if what has happened to Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia, then maybe, you know, there's no problem. If Atishi can be chief minister, why not? If Saurabh Bharadwaj can be the chief minister, why not? But then at least the way a chief minister functions, taking anything between 20 to 30 or 40 calls a day, governance is not affected. I'm not saying it has got affected already. It's just been 2-3 days. And systems, you know, they have their own way of taking care of themselves in a huge machinery like government. But then, if that's what I'm saying, it's possible that Arvind Kejriwal might come out of jail tomorrow, day after, whenever the ED custody ends. But if he does not, then obviously you need to have an alternative, which does not seem to be the case, happening to be the case as of now. Nikhil Jain.
Abhishek, can I now respond to the different points that were made? So Charu said that Arvind Kejriwal kept on skipping the summons and the ED should have arrested him earlier. Exactly my point. The ED had the right to arrest Arvind Kejriwal after he skipped the summons, after he skipped the 3rd summons on the 4th of January 2024. The ED could have very well arrested him in January, yet they chose to wait till March and then arrest him. Secondly, Charu had made a point that the Supreme Court had...
for this. Why didn't Arvind Kejriwal respond sooner? So now are you complaining that he's arrested, or are you complaining that he wasn't arrested
I did not
earlier?
interject. Charu, I did not interject.
No, I'm just trying to understand, Nikhil. I'm not going to interrupt you after this.
Okay. All right. So the second point that she said was that the Supreme Court said that 330 crores have found their way into the coffers of the Aam Aadmi Party. That is not what the Supreme Court said. That is an allegation of the ED. And so far as the ED being, so far as the Aam Aadmi Party being treated as an association of persons is concerned, that is a very spectacular legal argument that the ED has now come up with in order to put the entire party and entire bank of its leaders in jail. If that is how ED, if that is how political parties are to be looked at, if the kind of vicarious liability principle that the ED is now arguing in court is to be put forth, then for every single scam that happens in the country, even if some SDM or some Thanedar is doing a scam, we'd have to put in the Chief Minister, the Prime Minister, and the entire political party in jail for it. That is just a laughable form of argument that the ED is making before the court. In fact, the court itself suggested, when ED made that argument, the court said that why do you not make the Aam Aadmi Party a party within the case, which the ED never did, because they cannot legally maintain that. The ED is just playing holder wash with the people of the country. They're trying to fool the courts. Now,
they are not.
One very important point, Abhishek, that the same enforcement directorate...
Quickly, I'm run out of time,
a couple of months ago, they said that a certain person is a kingpin of the scam. Now that person has gotten bail and the ED never opposed the bail of that person.
Nikhil, I've run out of time.
While a bunch of other people have not been given bail.
Nikhil,
that same person
this is scraping through the surface. This is scraping through the surface for a political argument. Perhaps is okay, but it is not okay if you want me to get into the merits of the case. Just page 22 of the remand application, I'm just giving you a hint, and for the benefit of viewers also, the kind of specifics that the ED investigation has gone into. Once the details really come out, it would be very difficult for the Aam Aadmi Party to really defend, because as I said, skimming from the surface is not what the courts go through. Courts go through in detail. Now, these are call detailed records of the Angadiyas who were used for the Goa campaign, and these are call detailed records cross-checked with witness testimonies. So these are call detailed records, and the Angadiya has testified, yes, these are my call detailed records, connecting them to the Aam Aadmi Party candidates of Goa who have given witness testimonies under section 164. You know what 164 CRPC is, Nikhil Jain being a lawyer. But it says, as per seized records and the statement of Sagar Patel and Shri Rajiv Ashok Mondkar himself, he has collected rupees 27 crore in about 16 occasions from Shri Sagar Patel in the period from June 2021 to December 2021. This is just record of 27 crores in 6 months between two people who were couriering the money to Goa. But I've run out of time. Sorry, Ravi Srivastav, your audio was not good. That's why I couldn't come to you again. But we'll continue these conversations. Once we go into the specifics, it would be damning. Thank you so much, Charu, Pragya and Nikhil Jain, for this PhD conversation. And of course, short break, trending morning question is on the other side with Niranjan Narayan Swami.